What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. If you want to look like an athlete, you got to train like an athlete. This is something I say all the time, and if you're going to do that, you better carve out some portion of that to be explosive training. It's an element that you cannot miss if you're trying to maximize the results that you see. Because explosive training takes advantage of the fact that we can get into more type 2 fibers, recruit more maximally your type 2 fibers, which are more capable of growth and hypertrophy. And we have to be able to accelerate through emotion in order to do that and to realize that. When it comes to shoulders and shoulder training, it becomes a lot harder to do that safely. Because if I had to do that with a barbell press and throw that barbell up overhead and then try to catch it on the way down, that becomes a circus act and something likely to send you to the emergency room as opposed to helping you grow bigger shoulders. But we can do it with the use of a med ball. Med balls are actually a training tool that some people think are long forgotten. They should be part of your training if you want to be a complete athlete or develop a complete physique. And the first exercise you might think, oh, I know where he's going with this, is an overhead med ball toss because it has that acceleration component. I don't have to slow the weights down as I go through the midpoint. I could actually accelerate the weights all the way through to the end. But what's lacking here? You don't have a good eccentric component on the way back down. You're not eccentrically loading the shoulders. You're just throwing it and getting out of the way and letting it drop. So that's not the answer. Some would suggest maybe a wall ball. And this is an exercise, again, that allows you to load the shoulders and throw through the rep. Go through the rep explosively to allow for more power and to allow more of that recruitment of the type 2 fibers. But here again, are you really eccentrically loading the shoulders on the way down? Not really. You're actually getting a big help and a big assist from the lower body, and also your elbows are tucked in really close to your sides. You're not really loading the shoulders as much as they can be because you can increase that moment arm by getting your arms out longer, which is why we do what I call here the Plyo solo toss for the shoulders. This is a great exercise. You want to load it with a heavier medicine ball. Okay, and what you're going to do is act like you're going to do a forward shoulder raise. But instead of actually having to decelerate the weights as they get to the top of the motion, as you would with dumbbells, you can keep it going. You can actually try to accelerate through and power through what would normally be the end range of motion on this exercise. And as you release the ball, you now have that all-important eccentric component on the way back down because you have to try to catch this at about 90 degrees or slightly higher. When you do this, you can instantaneously see something we call spontaneous eccentric contraction. You got to slow that ball down before it gets all the way to the bottom, and then quickly reverse the movement and generate power again from that stretched state. And you keep going up and down with this for as many reps as you can. Usually with this 20-pound ball here, I'll fatigue at around 16 to 25 or so, depending upon where I sneak this into my shoulder workout. But I always try to put it in somewhere to take advantage of the explosive training. So as you can see, guys, explosive training is an incredibly important part of training like an athlete, but more so to the guy that's not even interested in being paid as an athlete to getting you better results. And I try to incorporate it along with all the other things I think you need to develop a complete physique, and we do that in our ATHLEAN-X training system. You can get that over at ATHLEAN-X.com. In the meantime, try this out. Put this in your next shoulder workout. There's an instantaneous difference that you will feel from even a set or two of this, and even the pump that you experience from doing this exercise will be different, I guarantee you, because you're going to be recruiting muscle fibers that have been dormant because there's no really other shoulder options that will target them like this does. All right? Let me know how you found this video, and if you found it helpful, leave your thumbs up below, and let me know what you want to see here in the future videos, and I'll do my best to cover them. All right, guys, I'll be back here again real soon. See ya.